FA Cup final. And Hatchin! What a magnificent goal!
Good evening, welcome to All Things Sky Blue match preview. This one's for the Ipswich Town podcast, or the preview for the Ipswich Town game at home. I think it's a 6 o'clock kickoff, a little bit of a weird kickoff time, but I think it's on Sky, hence for the weird time. So, just remember where you can find us. We are available on X or Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Please go and like and subscribe. If you listen to us on a podcast, please go and rate us 5 stars. We're sponsored by White Steel Fabrications. His logo's in the corner. He can do your steel fabrication work up and down the country, but mainly in the Coventry and Warwickshire area. We are also teamed up with the Sports Social Podcast Network and Sky and Friends Dog Walking and Pet Sitting Services. And we are partnered with the Sky Blue Tavern and Dylan's Brewery. So, without further ado, let me bring my guest in. And as always, co-host, good evening, Mark Smith. How are you, mate?
Yeah, hi, Stuart. Hi, everyone. Yeah, good. Thank you, yourself.
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Well, after an eventful game, an away game against Southampton, obviously 1-1 draw. First half was good. Second half was backs to the wall after the sending off for De Silva, which has got a 3-match ban. Obviously, we've got Swansea coming up first at home before the Ipswich game. So, you know, things might change with that anyway. But De Silva will be out regardless because he's got a 3-match ban. First of all, how did you find the game? And kind of... Obviously, I'm jumping ahead slightly because we have got the Swansea game in between this as well. But how are you feeling for the home game against Ipswich?
I thought really good result. I think for me that was the Southampton game was really the definition of what, you know, gaining a point is. Really, that was a really good result overall. I thought you're right, Stuart. I thought first half we played well. I thought we were the better side. They could have scored had Cienza was, you know, Radoni had a bad pass, which Cienza runs through, and Carl Rushworth has been in brilliant form, makes a really good save with his feet. Excuse me. We score a really good goal. I think it's Victor Torp with a cross, and Mason Clark with a really good header into the corner. And I thought first half we were the better side and we played well. And looking at the game, when you consider who we had out through illness, and we had players still who were playing who were sick as well. I think Milan was one. So overall, to pick up a point is a really good result. I mean, second half it was real back to the wall stuff. Jay De Silva was rightly sent off. It was a really bad tackle. It's dangerous. He could have broken the guy's leg, so there's no complaints on that one. Still feel a little bit raw about the Hadji Wright non-penalty decision. Thought the referee got that one wrong in my opinion, but I know some fans like yourself, Stuart, disagree with that, which is fair enough. But overall, a point gain for me. It was a really good result. Southampton's not an easy place to come. You know, just come down to the Premier League, obviously like Ipswich. Decent side. But I think if we'd have had 11 players, I like to think we could have won that game. So, you know, overall, pleased with the result, considering everything that, you know, that happened. And I think it certainly, from my view, gives me belief as a fan that we can look at the next 2 games. Swansea, on paper, is the easier game of the 2, Ipswich you know, starting to pick up points, particularly at home, but their away form hasn't been as good. So I think overall, I'm confident that we can get, I would say, at least 4 points in the next 2 games.
Yeah, definitely. And just, going back to the last Ipswich game, because it hasn't been that long since we last played them. It's similar for the Charlton game as well. We've got them very early on in January, and we've kind of only just played them again as well. We did have pretty much a full-strength squad out playing against them. The only change, I think, in the starting lineup was Kane Kessler-Hayden was in for Sakamoto. As he was out, I think he was out injured. But apart from that, we had actually Torp was out as well. Sorry, Eccles came in for Torp as well. So Sims was starting. Sims was in a good vein of form as well. What do you remember from that game, apart from obviously the decision that when we get our guest on, Dean, and I can see him in the background starting to smile as I'm talking about it now, he's getting his helmet on, ready to take the brunt of it, really. But, hindsight's a great thing. We didn't play particularly well. We were okay. But that decision from the referee was just awful, and I think it just shows the level of refereeing really that we have in the Championship. And I think Dean, when he comes on in a minute, will also express that as well, the inconsistency that we've got in the Championship. And that highlights for me, the massive discrepancy that we've got in terms of the refereeing and the decisions that they all make. It was clear as day that Hurst should have been sent off, and he didn't. What do you remember from that game, apart from obviously what we're going to be talking about, probably a lot as well?
Well, one thing I can say is I believe, and Dino might be able to, when he comes on, might be able to answer this, I think Hurst might be injured. I think he got injured.
Yes, he is. I believe he is, yeah.
I think he will be missing this game. But going back to your point about the sending off, I think how the referee, if that's at the other end, that's the second yellow, he's gone. But because Ipswich were at home, the referee's bottled that decision, in my opinion. It was a disgusting decision. And Ipswich, to be fair to them, didn't look back after that. They got the goal, and we were fair. I thought we played well, actually, up until they scored, to be honest. I thought we played some good football. But, these sort of games, these tight games, it's all about getting that first goal. I think that's the most important thing. If you get the first goal and you look at the way Ipswich defended, they were superb. They defended really well. I thought Dara Shea and Cedric Keeper at the back were really solid, difficult to break down. I thought Walton is a good keeper. I thought he had a good game in that particular game. So the only encouragement I could say from our point, if you're going and looking ahead to the Ipswich game, is that their away form is a little bit patchy. They have dropped points on the road. They've lost at Oxford. They got a last-minute equaliser against Blackburn. They've got Millwall on Boxing Day, which I think will be a really tight game as well. So, I think from our perspective as a fan, provided we do beat Swansea, which hopefully we will, I think it's important, looking at it from a slightly glass half empty perspective. If you offered me a point, which I know is a slightly negative outlook, it's not the worst result in the world, because I think the pressure is on Ipswich to win. They need to, pick up some results away from home to start close the gap on ourselves and Middlesbrough. So I think from my point of view, if we can beat them, fantastic. That really puts, even more daylight, which is obviously what we all want as Coventry City fans. But I'm just saying that if you offer me a point right now, provided that we beat Swansea, I think you would take that. Okay,
fair enough. So let's bring in Dean not to defend the referee, because you can't defend him, but to see what he says about it. So let's bring him in. Good evening, Dean. How are you?
Hi, Dean.
Good, thanks. Hi, guys. Yeah, got my helmet ready.
So let's take you back to 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think it was. It weren't long ago at all, really. What do you remember about the game? And do you agree that it was a sending off? And can you believe that he wasn't sent off?
Yeah, let's deal with that first. So when he kicked that, we looked at each other and said, "Oh my God, he's going to get sent off." I think that says it all because of consistency of it. What I would say is, I don't think either of them should get booked for that, really, because you see that happen a lot when you're playing these teams to defend against you and they're wasting time. But actually, neither of them are really wasting time, and that's what frustrated me more than ever. Is really, why'd you get booked for that in the first place? But yeah, we thought he was going to go, because you can't do that once someone else has had that, and consistency is all you ask for. But even when we was in the Premier League, we never had consistency with VAR and things. So yeah, and I never heard the song before, but I heard the Coventry fans singing "Frankie Lampard's right, the referees are," and I thought that was a very chance, to be honest with you, because he's right, they're right, they're awful, and then they're full time. It's not like they've just been at school. In the old days, I was a school teacher who's been at school all week and just turns up in Saturday afternoon, and they're full time, and they should get. You don't know what's going through his mind, really. Why he wouldn't do it? I don't know.
Yeah, well, he was an ex-Premier League referee, I believe, as well, which kind of makes it a lot worse, really, that, he's not good enough for the Premier League. He comes down and he makes that kind of decision. So for me, automatically, I don't want to see any, I'm not saying lose his job or anything like that, because I don't, I'm not, let's get this right. He made a mistake. I get it. But it's just consistency. So until he's got his consistency there, he's got to drop down leagues for me, and he's got to get used to what he actually needs to do in terms of his job. And that's be consistent, isn't it, really?
Yeah, he didn't blow his whistle, though, when the flag went up. I think that's half the problem with it. So the linesman put his flag up for Hurst being offside, and Hurst sort of hesitated because he saw the flag go up and the whistle didn't come. So they say play to the whistle, don't they? But yeah, I'm not defending it. How can I?
No, that's not.
The game itself was very, very interesting, and we all before the game we was really, for once, excited and intrigued about what was going to play out, and we were definitely very wary of Coventry early on. I think we didn't know how good you was, and you had a few injuries, to be fair to you, which probably didn't help you, and we were quite cagey. But it was nice that a team came and tried to attack, and no time wasting and all that. It was, you actually lost time from your long throws. You were taking forever with your long throws, even when you were losing. That was a bit mad, really. But I remember the fullbacks being really quick, especially De Silva, and we scored very good goals, to be fair. The first goal was very clinical, it was perfect in the corner, and I think that was the difference, really. You lost your way in the second half. I think with about 20 minutes to go, I thought that you've sort of run out of ideas a bit and a bit deflated because you're not used to being behind in games.
Well, I think. Again, look, I don't want to dwell on it too much because the past is the past and we can't do anything about it. But, that decision not to send Hurst off, I think played in their minds pretty much all game after that. And they couldn't let it go. And I think that was the issue. We weren't up to our normal standard anyway. We didn't play particularly well in that game, just like we didn't against Wrexham in our first loss on Halloween. We weren't up to it, but when a decision like that doesn't go the way you expect it to go, I think they replayed it in their heads too much, and they just couldn't let it go, and that affected the rest of the game, really, I think, anyway, from my point of view. To
a certain degree, I agree, but we are strong at home. We've only lost one at home all season, which was a mad game to Charlton, where we was 0-0 at half time. We missed some chances and they just scored out of nowhere and went against us. So we are strong at home, and we do have, I think I said to you on the previous one, and Mark used the word earlier, we are really patchy, whether it's from game to game or within games, and we have good spells and bad spells. And, don't be disheartened by your display at our players, because you're one of the best teams we've seen there. You played well. You just sort of lost your way, and maybe the sending off was something to do with it. But also the quality of the goals, I think, changed it. Egley's first goal was very, very clever. You struggled to get the ball away, didn't you? And he sort of placed it very well into the corner. But don't be disheartened by it. No team, hardly any team in history ever goes without losing a few games. So they're still in a fantastic position, and I would say you're the best team we've seen at our place. And so you've got it all to play for still, and I think you'll do it. And I cannot believe, in all honesty, we are third. We are not playing well. We're especially away from home. We're very slow. We're very predictable, but we just seem to have some quality every now and then. And maybe Frankie Lampard got his tactics a little bit wrong with us. He might have been better to be a bit more pragmatic. I know it's hard when you're top of the league and you're flying and you want every game to be the same. But if you look at the games we've won, they're all against the teams that have come and had a go. We beat Sheffield United 5-0, Norwich 3-1. Sheffield Wednesday came and had a go, to be fair to him, on Saturday and got undone by it. So maybe he could have been a bit tighter and might have played into your hands better. But when you're at the top, you're flying. It's all to play for, isn't it? And you want to go for it.
Yeah, and obviously, if we look, the way that some Coventry City fans are, the way that they're thinking about it is, if we do beat you on the 29th at home, then them points that we lost at your place reset itself, don't they? If you like.
Yeah. It's good to get each other out the way before the end of the year.
Yeah, definitely. Mark, any questions for Dino at the minute?
What do you think generally the stand of the Championship? Because I'll be honest, I think the stand pretty poor this season. Would you agree with that from the games you've seen the Ipswich play?
We are third, Mark, and we had a bad start to the season, and we're not playing that great away from home. It's a real struggle for us. So how are we third and we're not playing well? I think the thing with the Ipswich fans is we're all thinking, actually, will it ever turn around this season now? The problem is it's a new team, and you had a great season last season. You were so unlucky in the playoffs, and you got to this cup semi-final, and I think I said in the last podcast, you couldn't wait for the season to start because you'd had such a great season and it was all being built, and you got Grimes in midfield, didn't you? You made that key change, and it's really improved you. With us, we got a lot of players, and we just can't seem to find. We're not a team. When we got up before, we was a real team. It's really similar to you. Whatever happened in the game, we will try and outscore you. But with this team, he doesn't know who his best team is, and we think we find a solution for it. We brought in Nunes, who we got from Norwich as the number 10, and Jack Taylor in midfield. For a few games, it all clicked, and now it's all sort of falling apart again, and we don't know who our best team is. So, yeah, if we're third, that's the standard. Yeah, it's probably not that great. And to be fair, and Middlesbrough as well, to be fair to them, you both had a really strong start to the season and deserve where you are. And if you look under Ipswich, who have you got? You've got teams like Hull, Stoke, Millwall, who are all very patchy as well, aren't they? And don't have deep squads. I guess Southampton could be one that, we saw a bit of that on Saturday, and they look quite strong. We only watched the end of it. But they look quite strong coming forwards and seem to re-galvanise themselves. So I think the transfer window will be really key. The last two promotion seasons we really strengthened in the transfer window, and it really pushed us on. So I guess you guys need to do a bit of that as well, because, just freshen things up a bit and get a bit more quality in there.
Yeah, I think that hopefully that's the plan anyway. Obviously, with silly seasons around where you're linked with every Tom, Dick, and Harry, and obviously I think Sheffield United are linked with Jack Clark for you guys, and Harry Clark as well. I believe they've said no to Jack Clark already, but it looks like Harry Clark might be on his way. But again, we'll have to wait and see on them ones and see what actually happens. Obviously, Mark mentioned it earlier on. It looks like the same as before. You might be able to tell me any different. Obviously, Sam Schmodix came back. It looks like he might be out again. Townsend's still out and Burns is still out. Harry Clark's out and Hurst is out as well. Is there anybody new or anybody different that might be out for our game?
No, I mean, George Hurst pulled up after about 5 minutes on Saturday, and I think he's done his groin. He did run off, walked off. So we didn't, hoping it was not bad, but Kieran McKenna said today he's out for several weeks, so he definitely won't be playing against you. We've got Millwall away on Boxing Day, so
Yeah.
God knows what will happen after that. Great place to go on your Boxing Day. My wife is delighted that I'm taking her there for Boxing Day. Actually, last time we went there was Valentine's Day, so she's having a bit of a raw deal with going
Bless
there.
her.
But I guess, yeah, it's not the best place to go, is it? But it'd be really interesting coming to your place to really see how we play. I mean, you do have if you get the first goal, we can let in several goals at a time. So it could go like that, or we might put our fingers out and show the quality we got. It's going to be a very intriguing game again.
Yeah, Mark, it is going to be an interesting game because obviously we've just had a bout of flu go round Brighton and the camp. Milan went off, coughing his guts up apparently. Talk went off coughing as well. Sakamoto was out, Kitchen was out, Bobby was out for the last game against Southampton as well. So hopefully they're all back against Swansea and we've got a full strength squad out, but it's still up in the air a little bit. The only real change that's possibly going to happen over the next couple of games, depending on obviously illness and things like that, is De Silva. So normally he has opted to go for Bidwell. Bidwell was the first one to come on against Southampton when he got sent off. He came on for Eccles. Brow did come on though. So that was interesting, whether that's to give him a bit more minutes in his legs. How do you think that left-back berth's going to go, Mark? Because I am utterly clueless. I don't know. I really don't know which way it's going to go.
Yeah, I think my guess, and obviously it's only a guess, I think Bidwell will start. I think Brow will come on. I think he'll start Bidwell and Mason Clark, I'd say first half. And depending on the situation of the game, if we were to be ahead, let's say against Ipswich, I wouldn't be surprised if they take Mason Clark off and bring Brow on, because I think what Brow can do is obviously he can occupy, he can help Bidwell out defensively. So that's the way I think he'll go. But I mean, he started Bidwell in the Wrexham game, didn't he? When De Silva wasn't playing. Well, I didn't think he had a particular game, to be honest. I wouldn't be. I'm not against Brow starting. But you've got to look at who's he up against. I think he's going to be up against Ejeli, who plays on the wide right. So, he's a good player. I think
the right is. I was going to say the right-hand side is a bit of a problem for us going forward, so you'll probably be all right there. The left is where we're stronger with Leif Davis and Philogene. The right-hand side is a bit more because we've got Darnell Furlong at fullback, and he just doesn't like going over the halfway line. So you might be able to be all right against us in that position. Yeah,
and also you've got Jack Clark, who can also play in that wide left as well. I think that's where Ipswich is strong, is that sort of wide left position. I say a player I do like for them is it Kajus staying in midfield? I think he's quality, but
he was better in the Premier League than he's in the Championship. Bizarrely, it doesn't seem to suit him. But he's very good at breaking with the ball, and he's a very intelligent player. So it'd be interesting. He's just started again. He's been on the bench for a while, and he played well on Saturday, so he'll probably be in with you. But our sort of key central midfielder, Matasua, he's like a holding midfield. He's on 9 bookings at the moment, so if he gets booked against Millwall, he'll miss you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was going to ask about, obviously, Luke Wolfenden. Obviously, he was a stalwart at Ipswich through the ranks.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's played for us. What was your thoughts about him during his time at Ipswich? Was you a big fan of his?
Yeah, definitely. Really sad to see him go. He's got lots of time. He's made some comments about how political it was at Ipswich in the Premier League season. So he came in for some games, did really well, and then they went to O'Shea and Greaves, who they paid all the money for. And I think, he needed to go and play somewhere. And I really liked him. He's very calm. He's good pass for the ball, bringing the ball out, reads the game quite well. So I think we was all sad to see him go. Can only say positive things about him, to be honest.
Okay,
have him back in a heartbeat.
I think for me, as Dino alluded to earlier, I think the strength of Ipswich on that left flank is probably their strongest part of the game. You've got Philogene Leif Davis, I think, is fantastic. Probably one of the best left backs in the division as well. In my opinion, could play at Premier League level. I think that's where we've got to be careful. I'm hoping that, obviously, we've got Milan fit. I think he's crucial. If we can get him fit, hopefully, and illness free. And I think if Sakamoto does play in that wide right, I think he's got an important role to play in this game, not just going forward, but defensively as well, because we know the quality they possess going forward in that area. And I think we've got to be at our best. And I don't want us to be too cavalier against Ipswich, because you look at the way we concede that goal. Look at the second goal when Hurst scores. That transition of possession from defence to attack, 2 passes and he's through on goal. And I think that's something we have to be careful of. And I think, as Dino alluded to earlier, I wouldn't be disappointed if we're a bit more pragmatic. If we can get that first goal and be a little bit more just cagey and maybe be difficult to break down. I watched the Oxford game, for example, against Ipswich, where it was 0-0 for a while, but Ipswich, when you got men behind the ball, Ipswich was very slow in possession. They didn't look like they were Oxford restricted to shots from distances, which keeper was saving. And I think I wouldn't be too disappointed if we almost play like the away side against them. Try and be, get men behind the ball, be dogged, and then when the opportunity strikes, you just play them at their own game. That's the way I would like to see us play against Ipswich, because if we play like that, I think that's our best chance of winning, personally. Yeah,
I think we're a different kettle of fish at home, though. For some, being the home side, I think we play our normal game. I think that it might be even a case that I think Glenn's mentioned it a few times on the spaces and stuff, playing Kessler Hayden at left back. He did it for Preston, where he's played a good couple of games as well. It might be he might throw a curveball, something like that in there. Because I just think if you play Bidwell from the start, I think it's going to be. I think with the pace and everything that their wide men have got. I know Furlong doesn't go forward that often, Dino, as you've mentioned already, but I just think with the pace that forward line potentially has, I think he may get caught out. And I don't think I've said it before, I don't think Mason Clark helps him defensively enough. When we've got De Silva, he's quicker, so we kind of get away with it a little bit more. I don't think we will if Bidwell plays there, personally.
Yeah, and I also think who he selects in Swansea game will give us a clue as to what will happen for the Ipswich game.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Right, on to predictions then. I'll start with you first, Dino. Coming to the CBS, how do you feel about the game and what do you think the score's going to be?
It has been a bit of a lucky ground for us, unfortunately for you guys, the last few seasons. So I'm going to sit on the fence and go 1-1. We always let a goal in and you always score, so I'm going to go 1-1.
Fair enough. To be fair, I'd probably take it. Mark, are you going to sit on the fence as normal and add to Dino?
Sadly, yes. I'm going to join Dino on the fence. I'm also going to say 1-1. I think it will be a cagey, close game. I think on our day we can beat them, but their record against us is pretty good. Although they won last time, I think that was the game that almost clinched the promotion, from memory.
Yeah.
But anyway, aside from all that, I'm going to go 1-1.
Okay. I'm actually, you know what? I'm gonna say that we're gonna edge it. I'm gonna say that we're gonna win 1-0. Might be sort of 85th minute or so. It might be backwards and forwards, 85th minute, something like that. But I think we're going to get it over the line. I think at home we're a different kettle of fish. We haven't lost there yet. We've only drawn 2. We've won the last 5 at home. Momentum's on our side at home. Off a good result, a hard-fought result away at Southampton. I think that will instill a little bit of confidence in them. Home game with the crowd as well. I'm going to go for a 1-0 victory to the mighty Sky Blues at home. So, as always, quick fire questions. I have got your answers from the last time. So let's see if anything's changed, shall we? So one player to look out for. Can you remember who you said?
Probably Philogene last time, but I would go. Oh, okay. Well, I would say if Cahoos plays, then he could be quite integral to it. But
Okay.
he doesn't always start, but he is quality. He's just. I know it sounds weird. He's too good. That he's just thinking all over the place all the time. He's just too. So yeah, the Premier League suited him more. But if he plays, he could be very impressive.
Okay, fair enough. You said Clark actually last time, Jack Clark, I believe.
Okay.
So where will Cov finish? Can you remember where you said last time?
Same, yeah. TOP, definitely.
Okay, fair enough.
It's Christmas and you're top, so you've got to do a lot wrong, like I said last time, from now to really muck that up, I think. I think you'll be fine.
Okay, fair enough. Where will you finish? Can you remember where you said the last time?
Might have said 6, so I think, yeah, we'd be in the playoffs, and the nightmare it would be your nightmare team in the playoffs, Preston. Because we got as bad a record, it'd be like a real pragmatic team that just wouldn't. It'd be a nightmare. But let's see.
Fair enough. And one player from Cov you would take. Can you remember who you said?
I probably would have said Grimes in midfield. Stick with that. But De Silva played really well against us. I don't know if because he played right in front of me. I sit near the halfway line, and he was on my side, but he really impressed that day. Okay, so go for 2 of them.
Lovely, not a problem. Thank you very much. So just before I do let you go, what does the January transfer window look like for you? Where do you think you need to let people go? Who do you expect to leave, and where do you expect to strengthen?
Yeah, we definitely need a striker. We need we need a number 10. You know, the bizarre thing with that is that our best number 10 we've had in recent years is Connor Chaplin, and he went to Portsmouth on loan because he couldn't get in the team, and he's been playing there, but I don't think he's been ripping up trees. But our number 10 position has not been solved since then. So a lot of Ipswich fans say you can't go back, but if he is the right fit for the team, then I would go back to him. So, and then a central midfielder, because Matasura is a good player, but gets a yellow card very quickly. There's been talk because Sam Morsey's coming back, who he went to Kuwait and it didn't really work out. So he's a free agent in January, and he was brilliant for us. He was the real leader on the pitch. And again, the Ipswich fans, we want him back, but I think it might undermine what's gone on there with who they put in charge, Darragh O'Shea, and they probably won't go back to him. But he would be a good short-term option because Matasura is going to get suspended somewhere along the line very quickly. I think it's hard for central midfielders, you know. I think you get the cards and they get booked for such innocuous thing in central midfield that other players don't, and they just rack up the yellow cards so quickly. And I just don't think it's the same as a fullback or a centre forward that 5 cards thing, you know. And they're often digging their players out from a bad pass or something. It's a bit of a nightmare position for them, really.
Yeah, it is definitely on Sam Morsey. I don't know how true it is, but it looks like it's a done deal to go to Bristol City.
Yeah,
that's the reports that I've seen. So, yeah. Okay, fair enough. Thank you very much. Anything else, Mark, that you want to add?
No, nothing more for me, no.
Any questions for us, Dino?
No, Merry Christmas to all the Cov fans.
I
look forward to coming. We got Millwall and Coventry away in about 4 days, so back on the road. And look forward to it. I always like coming to a ground. The noise is good. Love the enemy, so that's a good thing as well. And I always look forward to coming, so it should be good. I just hope it's a good game at the end of the day.
Yeah. Any questions for us before you go, Dino?
No. Good luck with everything.
Brilliant. Fantastic. So just remember where you can find us, guys. It is scrolling on the ticker at the bottom if you need to look for it. We are available on X or Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, also YouTube. Please go and like and subscribe. It is much appreciated. We're sponsored by White Steel Fabrications. He can do your steel fabrication work up and down the country. We are partnered with the Sky Blue Tavern and Dillon's Brewery. And we've also teamed up with the Sports Social Podcast Network and Sky and Friends Dog Walking and Pet Sitting Services. Obviously, we're also available on a podcast as well, I forgot to mention. And if you do listen to us rather than watch us, please go and rate us 5 stars as well. Merry Christmas to you all. Everybody from All Things Sky Blue. Have a happy Christmas. Have a safe New Year, and play up Sky Blues.